your market value will increase between 16 and 25% as soon as you acquire your PMP.
Welcome, Mr. Kreshinan. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming this night with us. Mr. Kreshinan, he's from Malaysia. We can say he's half British, half Malaysian. Bachelor degree in Accounting and Financial Management, University of Buckingham, 1982. Also, he got an MBA, University of Edinburgh, 1989. Fellow of the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, UK, 1995. PMP, Project Management Institute, in 2012. So هو حاصل على البي ام بي من عام 2012، يعني 13 سنة الآن تقريبا. إن شاء الله he will tell us about his journey to get PMP, okay, during the next minutes. Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
First of all, thank you very much, Mr. Talat, for inviting me to participate in this very special event. I'm humbled, I'm honored, and I'm privileged to be able to speak to all of you. My Arabic, unfortunately, is very, very poor. I think your English is better than mine. I believe Mr. Talat's going to be my interpreter. The funny thing here right now, and the first thing that I noticed was that both of us are well coordinated. We are both wearing yellow, and we did not plan that. Okay.
Very good chance. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay.
So I'm hoping that we will be able to coordinate well. And I'm saying this in this context because Mr. Talat caught me off guard this afternoon. So I told him that what we are doing today is something like crisis management, what I refer to as seat of the pants management. So actually, I just want to say one other thing. Mr. Talat and myself have been connected since, I think, 2022, if I'm not wrong. So we know each other virtually for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I actually met him in person only this Saturday. Over to you. So I think Mr. Talat just advised all of you that I live in Penang, which is the northern part of the peninsula. It's about 350 kilometers from Kuala Lumpur, the capital city. It is nearly 1 a.m. in the morning. Luckily, I'm one of those people who tend to sleep late. I must admit I'm actually tired because I didn't sleep all day. If I had planned carefully, I might have been a bit better prepared. Over to you. So Mr. Talat asked me to speak to all of you. I believe a number of you are fairly senior. My journey started in 2011. My PMI journey started in 2011 when, as Mr. Talat shared, with a little company called Dell. I was aged 51. So I always say, and I shared this on Saturday when I was meeting members, that those of you who are 50 or below really have got no excuse not to actually complete the PMP and do it successfully.
Okay.
Well, there's two things that most of us should know. One is obviously Dell because it's one of the largest computer companies in the world. But the other one is NCR, which is where I first heard about PMI. That would have been 2005. Okay. So NCR you would have heard about because if you're taking cash from an ATM or putting cash into a CDM, it's an NCR machine.
So you work with NCR machine before Dell company?
Yes, I did. And let me reassure Dr. Saad, is it?
Yeah, Dr. Saad.
I'm 64 right now. I'll be 65 in October. and I'm still full of energy. So I don't see any reason why someone who's 60 years old cannot continue to contribute. I've got more thoughts on age, but that's for another time. So my journey started in 2010, 2011. I had a very successful year with Dell, and my boss volunteered me to do the PMP course, fully sponsored by Dell. I want to just stop there for a moment because it's my understanding that most of you are self-sponsored. So you may have not been as fortunate as I was, but that's how it started. Now, my challenge, my first challenge was that I attended the boot camp in October, November of 2011, but Dell wanted me to complete my PMP by the 3rd of February 2012. So this was my first challenge. So let me
continue.
So I have a bad habit. I tend to procrastinate. Those of you who procrastinate like myself will understand. I delayed my application for PMP. Why? Because I had never held a role as a project manager before. Eventually, I put my application in around Christmas, around the 23rd, 24th of December, and that was approved soon after. This is one place where some of us will have a challenge because they will ask you for your project management related experience. I'm not sure what Mr. Talat and his team have done by way of preparing you for your application. Please don't feel intimidated.
Okay.
Actually, most of us do have experience. So now I'm going to speak to people who might be younger. Maybe you're fresh out of university or you just started work and you actually don't have experience. If you have understood the definition of a project, a defined start, defined end, unique outcome, service, product, you already know that many of the things that we do are actually projects. And if I use a simple example, you're deciding to sign up with Mr. Talat and his team to do this course is a project.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
You are in the middle of the project right now. The end of the project is when you actually finish with a PMP, hopefully with above target in all three domains. For those who lack experience in your respective organizations, you can recommend that they do CAPM, or if you are able to, have them sponsored to do CAPM. The reason why I recommend this is so that if you are in a projectized environment, the others around you understand the jargon and the language that you are speaking as a PMP. So coming back to my story and my journey, I put my application in, it was approved. But I needed now to find an exam date nearer the 3rd of February. That would have been roughly 6 weeks. Unfortunately, the latest date that I could find was the 12th of January. So my challenge was not enough time to revise. So you can imagine what sort of pressure I was under.
Okay.
The good news was because it was in the run-up to New Year, I was able to take some time off. That was the good news, but it was still very pressured. So let me take you to the preparation. If you're showing the slides, this is the second slide.
Okay, I will. You want me to show the slides?
You show it. You show it because
okay, I will show it. I will show it.
Yeah.
Can you see my slides now, Mr. Krishnan?
No, I can't. I can see your handsome face. I can see my handsome face.
It's a new device. Okay, I bought this.
Yes, you left your device in the shop in the secret recipe.
Yeah. But I got it, alhamdulillah. I got it, but now I got a new one.
Never mind. Let me
Okay.
speak whilst you figure out how to get the slides up.
Okay.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
here were my challenges, and I believe you don't have these challenges, but these were my challenges. I had no guidance.
Mhm.
I had no exam technique. I had no mentor or coach, and I was not a chapter member. So I studied my way. So I created flashcards. I did a lot of memorizing, and I put out all the formulas for the calculation so that I understood those things.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, today you are using Pmbox 7th edition. That time I was using Pmbox 4th edition. So my preparation involved a lot of writing, a lot of repetition, a bit like us learning in school how to spell and how to do our multiplication tables, and using mock exams that I found on the internet. I was, pardon me, stingy. I didn't spend money to go and pay PMI or someone else for proper mock exams. The
Yeah.
free ones
Thank you.
were that I found
Yeah.
on the mock internet.
Yeah.
I want to now just share my exam experience. I've already shared that I was not adequately prepared. I was not prepared. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I lived in Penang. The exam center, there was only one, and that was in Kuala Lumpur. I think most of you today are probably close to an exam center. If you're in a large city, really there should be no excuse for not being near a exam center. And today, you actually have something else, the proctored exam, which is where you can actually do the exam from home. But you need to be a lot more disciplined because they will be checking on you that there's no one else in the room and stuff like that.
Okay,
Let
go
me
ahead.
just elaborate a little bit on the application. The hardest part of the application is actually showing your experience. That's the hardest part. So you need to be intelligent about how you present your experience. And normally what I say to people is put all your projects down that you have done in the last 3 to 5 years and identify your largest project first, because that's the one that's going to give you the maximum number of months of project management experience, and then work downwards until you get to your, so I think it's 4,500 hours from memory. It's a long time ago since I prepared it. And hopefully you should be able to prepare this. Now, the hard bit is this. Let's just say you have prepared it like Atma had, and it got rejected. It gets rejected because PMI operates on what's called the honor system. In other words, they trust you that what you have written is actually correct. But there's a 1 to 3% chance that you will get audited. And I suspect that Atma may have been audited. And that's why she had her application returned. So don't feel fearful of it. If you have told the truth, if you have genuinely got the 36 months of project management experience, you have genuinely got 4,500 hours under your belt, you shouldn't have a problem. Generally speaking, and I say this to engineers, so I don't know how many of you are engineers, you will be involved in long-term projects. So you are probably in a better position to demonstrate that you actually have project management experience. If you are working in an IT environment and you're doing projects every week sort of situation, it becomes a little bit more difficult to actually demonstrate the thing, because PMI wants you to show one project per month. Now, in the real world, we are doing many projects per day, per week, per month, per year, right? So it's unrealistic. So if you need help, please reach out to me. I've shared my LinkedIn connection there, and I'm sure Dr. Talat and his team will be able to help you as well. Let me continue with my experience in the exam. So I had to fly to Kuala Lumpur. I had to
Yeah.
stay in a cheap hotel.
Yes.
My exam was in the afternoon because I'm not a morning person. So you need
Yes.
to decide whether you're a morning person or an afternoon person. And the exam structure in 2012 was 200 multiple choice questions in 4 hours, no break. So after 1 hour of doing the exam, I checked my pace and I was on track. I was doing 50 questions. So in terms of pace, I was okay. It's a bit like a marathon. If you run fast at the beginning, you might not be able to finish the race. Now, my problem was after 1 hour, I convinced myself that I had not answered the questions correctly, that I had failed and needed to resit. So I wanted to leave the center. But then I realized I have to wait for my flight later that night. So I decided to stay and treat the exam as if it was a mock exam.
Mr.
So
Krishnan.
now the exam result came out after 4 hours. That was nerve-wracking. It involved a long wait. After some time, the results came out. I was shocked. I had passed. I was happy. Okay, so I would actually sit with a coach or a mentor and actually determine whether you have not understood whether you have a project or not. That's the first thing I would do. But let us assume that your assessment is correct. Then what I would suggest that you do is go and do CAPM.
Yes.
And CAPM does not require experience. If you got experience, is okay, but you don't require experience. And CAPM syllabus is almost the same as PMP. The big difference with PMP is that it's all scenario based, and I missed that out in my slides, but I'll come back to that in a minute. Whereas CAPM is all theoretical. So it's a lot easier for someone without experience to actually answer CAPM. And CAPM is also industry recognized. It's worldwide recognized. So coming back to the exam, here's our challenge. I'm assuming all of us are non-English native speakers. So it's a second language for most of us. So that's a problem in its own right. Okay. The second thing is it's all multiple choice questions. So our natural instincts will be, okay, if it's MCQ, it must be easy. But here is where the problem starts. The questions are convoluted. That means it's twisted around many different ways. And we may not be able to understand what the question is asking for. So you need to look for the keywords. Sometimes you need to read the question 2-3 times to understand what it is asking for. The worst part about all of this is all the answers look correct. So how do you find the PMI answer? So this you can only do through lots of mock exams and practice. Repeat. And here is another piece of advice which I picked up after I had done PMP. If your answer is wrong, you need to understand why it is wrong. That is how you learn. And if it is correct, you also need to understand why it is correct. Otherwise, it is a bit like throwing a dart at a dartboard. So let me talk about your next steps. You are graduating today. What I would recommend that you do, and I'm sure Dr. Talat and his team have advised similarly, you need to put together a realistic revision plan. That's step one. No two people will have the same revision plan. And I'll explain it this way. I don't know whether you have a wife or a husband from hell, or whether you have children from hell, or whether you have a boss from hell, or whether you have a mother-in-law or father-in-law from hell. You need to figure out how to fit all of those troubles into your revision plan. And if I use a bad example, I remember when I was doing my professional accountancy exams, I used to go and hide in the library. I used to drive 30 miles to, I was in London at the time, I used to drive 30 miles to Surrey University Library just to make sure I had quiet and I could concentrate on revising. So you need to figure out what works best for you. Your revision plan should include lots of mock exams. Once you are achieving 80% consistently, you know you are ready to sit for the exam. Apply for an exam date, show up early for the exam, get a good night's rest before the exam. In other words, sleep early. So if you're like me and you sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning, then you need to go to bed maybe at 11 o'clock at night so you're rested. And hopefully you will ace the exam with above target, above target, above target.
Okay.
My next block of comments is what's in it for you.
Okay.
This is to motivate and incentivize you to pursue the exam. The first thing that's of value is the certification. It's not the course, it's the certification. It's either PMP or CAPM. Generally, it's recognized as the gold standard. It's globally recognized. You can work virtually anywhere in the world. If you have plans or ideas of migrating to another country, this you can carry with you. It's portable. For PMP, it's also recognition of your project management related experience. Your market value will increase by between 16 and 25% as soon as you acquire your PMP. It's 16% in Malaysia. That's an old statistic. I believe it's 25% in the US. Some of us must change jobs to get the increases. I have personally met people who have changed jobs and have received increases in salary of between 40 and 50%. After you get your PMP, what is next? May I suggest that if you have a local chapter, you join the local chapter.
Some, my friend Krishnan, some countries in Arabic countries, they don't have local chapter. Do you recommend them to join Malaysia chapter?
I think we need to look at alternatives. Saudi Arabia has got a large chapter, so maybe that's the obvious one to
Yes.
join. But here's another idea, and this is something that I actually had in mind when I got my PMP. If you don't have a chapter in your country, you could look at creating a chapter in your own country. And that means that you need to find other PMPs in the country. I don't know what the critical numbers are, but if I use the Malaysia chapter, which was formed in 1994, it is the oldest chapter in Asia Pacific. It had 50 founder members before it got registered as a PMI chapter. So that's something you can do. I was living in Penang. There was no activity in Penang that I knew of. So I thought that if there's 30 people in Dell being trained, there must be another 30 people in Penang. So there's 60 people. And I said, that's enough critical mass to actually need for a branch or a chapter or something like that. So we could run our own activities so that we could get the PDUs. I don't know how many of you know this, but after your PMP, to keep your PMP alive, in fact, as any of the PMI certifications, you need to acquire these PDUs every 3 years and renew your certification.
Yes.
Very quickly, my recommendation is volunteer with your chapter, volunteer globally. That's number one. And the second point, and this is what's in it for you, is this is where your real personal stroke professional growth begins, and it will translate into your respective career.
Okay, Mr. Krishnan, Thank you very much. Thank you for your valuable time and for valuable experience that we got. Me, myself, really, I got a lot of experience from your speech. Thank you very much.